This video is sponsored by Squarespace. More on that later in the video. Today I'm going to show you how to make seeded sourdough bread using the lamination technique. It's a great way of adding additions. Hi, I'm Sune and I'm a food geek. Today I'm going to show you how you can make a seeded sourdough bread by using a technique called lamination. No, it's not the same as when you make croissants, but it's similar. When you bake seeded bread, the amount of seeds that you should use is in the range of 10 to 20%. It's not a hard rule, but it's a good rule of thumb. It's important that you soak the seeds so that they soak up as much moisture as they can before you add them to the dough. Otherwise, they will soak up the moisture out of the dough, essentially making it a less hydrated dough. One note though, when they're added, the dough will seem more wet. It's like osmosis. Some of the water will leak out into the dough once they're added, but then it's absorbed again until equilibrium is reached. Then the dough will be back to the initial hydration. Squarespace is a platform that lets you easily build your own presence on the web. Maybe you want to build a blog for your sourdough recipes, or maybe you're launching your own micro bakery. You get almost unlimited options in how your site should work. There's blogging features built in to share recipes, photos, and videos. You can categorize, share, and schedule your posts to make your content work for you. Squarespace has modern templates for almost any subject, and they look sleek and professional no matter what device your users use, be it on Windows, Mac, mobile phone, or tablet. Check out squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/foodgeek to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. The bread that I'm making today is my absolute favorite when it comes to seeded bread. It's called bread from Skagen. If you've ever seen a map of Denmark, Skagen is the hat of what looks to be an elf with a runny nose, also known as the Peninsula Jutland. It's a mixture of poppy seeds and sunflower seeds, which is both on the outside and the inside of the bread. When those seeds on the outside caramelize, this bread turns into pure joy. You can, of course, add whatever seeds that you like. You can also add other things instead of seeds, like nuts or dried fruit. I always rehydrate dried fruit so that it's plump and moist inside the crumb. Nuts do not need to be hydrated. The flours that I'm using today is 80% bread flour and 20% freshly milled whole grain wheat flour. The salt is 2.3%, hydration 80%, about 16% seeds, and 15% inoculation. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider becoming a Patreon. You can also buy some merch or use the links in the description for tools and ingredients. Thank you. Those were the words. This is the recipe. The written recipe, the ingredients, and the amounts are linked in the description and the card above. First, we mix everything for the dough. To a bowl, add 529 grams of bread flour, 132 grams of whole grain spelt flour, and 15 grams of fine salt. Mix until it's combined. Then add 99 grams of sourdough starter, 519 grams of water. Mix with your hands until all the flour is hydrated. Then let the dough rest for 1 hour. While the dough is resting, it's time to prepare the soaker. To a small bowl, add 40 grams of sunflower seeds, 66 grams of poppy seeds. Add enough of boiling water to cover all of the seeds. Put aside until you need it. Then it's time to do the first set of stretch and folds. Then cover the dough and let it rest for 30 minutes. Then the second set of stretch and folds. Let the dough rest for 30 minutes. Then it's time to do the lamination. Strain the remaining water from the seeds through a fine meshed sieve. Spray your kitchen counter with water. Dump the dough out on the top of the water and start pulling on the edges of the dough to pull the dough thinner and thinner. Aim for a square. Don't pull hard, just do little by little, then move to a place further down the edge. Keep going until the dough is very thin. Spread the seeds on top of the dough as evenly as you can. Grab the right side of the dough and fold it 1/3 in over the dough. Fold the left side of the dough over the fold you just did. Fold the bottom third up over the dough. Finish the lamination by folding the dough from the top down halfway. Put the dough in a bulking container and mark the top of the dough. Let the dough rise by 1/4 or to 125% of its initial size. When the dough is finished rising, dump the dough out onto the kitchen counter. There should be no flour or water present. Give the dough a couple of folds to disperse the seeds. Divide the dough into 2 equally sized pieces. Then do a pre-shape of each dough. You should go a bit longer than usual to get a good dispersion of the seeds. Then pre-shape the other dough. Let them rest for 20 minutes on the counter. Prepare a dish towel with poppy seeds and sunflower seeds. Then final shape the dough into a petard. Lift the shaped dough up onto the dish towel and roll it around to make all the seeds stick. You do not need to dust the banneton as I did here, out of pure habit. Put the dough into a banneton. Then put the dough in a plastic bag and put it into the fridge. Let the dough rest in the fridge for at least 8 hours, 48 hours at the most. When you're ready to bake, heat your oven to 260 degrees Celsius, 500 degrees Fahrenheit, with a baking steel and Dutch oven inside. When the oven is warm, grab a dough from the fridge and dust the bottom with rice flour. Flip the dough onto a peel. Pour the dough. Put the dough into the Dutch oven and put the lid on. Bake the bread for 20 minutes. Open the oven and remove the lid from the Dutch oven. turn the oven down to 230 degrees Celsius, 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake the bread for about 20 minutes more until it's crunchy. Take the bread out and let it cool on a wire rack. Repeat with the other bread. Let's have a look at this gorgeous bread in all its intoxicating glory. Hot damn! How about that bread from Skagen? It's so good, it's almost intoxicating. Let me know in the comments what your favorite combination of seeds in your bread is. I hope you learned something today. See you next time.